So what does make good security architecture? Now, there are 5 attributes that every good security architecture should actually cover. And we'll go one by one. So first, and very important, it needs to be directly traceable to your business objectives. So as I mentioned, everything starts from the business goals, business objectives, business strategies. So no matter what you're doing, no matter in which layer or how maybe low, even if you update just one software or you just change the hardware, anything, it always needs to be traceable back to your business objective. So you can always point out, okay, I'm doing this because my CEO or my manager told me so, and this is related to our enterprise goals. So if you can always point it out to your business objectives, you're doing a good job, actually. Then the second part, it needs to be designed from the project outset to be cost effective. Now, and we're going to discuss this a bit more when we're talking about one of those challenges. So projects needs to always be set from the initiation phase. So you already need to have it clearly defined. Okay, this is my budget, this is my man labor, and this needs to be driven from the end to end. So not to coach yourself later on, having again all of those extra budget spillage, or oh, we need more manpower, we need more budget, oh, we are over the time. So the good security architecture actually needs to cover that as well. So projects outset is the focus, and not okay, we are everything doing ad hoc, as we are seeing unfortunately in the reality more and more often. Then the third aspect, very important, is it meets regulatory audit and compliance requirement by design. Now, lately, there are more and more external audits, more and more regulatory bodies, and they are becoming actually more strict, especially when we're talking about some of the fines that they are dealing. Maybe some of you have already heard about the SOX, SOX body, government body, GDPR, TKJ in Europe. So there are many more. And even if you Google it, you can see some of those penalties and those fines. And especially when we're talking about privacy issues, personal related data, if anything happens in terms of security breaches, your information or data gets stolen, you will not just suffer the consequences of maybe even the individual lawsuits, but as well some of those bodies, regulatory bodies, will fine you as well. And they're becoming more and more drastical. Fourth attribute, it needs to align your business risks and risk appetite. It's basically that famous quote, don't bite more than you can chew. So you have to be very aware of your business risks, where they are coming from, how impactful can they be, and as well know your risk appetite. So, okay, what are my limits? Where are my borders? Again, in practice, unfortunately, businesses or organizations, they're not actually even aware of what's their risk appetite and what are actually business risks to their organization. And you need to be aware of that. And last but not least, it needs to be driven by business requirements rather than technical considerations. So what do we mean by this? Every organization is actually consisted of 3 parts. So one is the person or people, employees. Then the second is the processes that are being used in the organization. And then the third is as well technical. So just because maybe you have the latest technical solutions, or you have the latest firewalls, the best encryption, and so on, that doesn't make you a safe per se. So because you're immediately excluding those 2 other very, very important issues. And don't forget that based on the statistics and the reports, 30% of actual security breaches come from the internals. So keep that in mind. So you don't have to deal all the time with the external threats or outside the organization, but actually almost 1/3 of all the hacking incidents or personal or data storages, leaks, and so on are actually coming from the internals.